And but in a situation where that would happen, which, let's say the mother has the better job, it pays more, but they still want to keep their child home, and have them have a stay-at-home parent. So in that situation, if the dad was to stay home, then absolutely. I actually have a friend from New York, and they're doing the same thing right now. He stayed home, and they had twins, actually. And it's just, now we're so fortunate that formula exists. And,
Right.
not just for situations where the dad can help out more feeding. There are plenty of situations where the mom can't produce breast milk for one reason or the other. And thank God for formula. It's just such an amazing thing. And it allows for things such as a stay-at-home dad, or, in case the mom needed to take, life-saving medication that she couldn't take if she was breastfeeding or something like that in those situations. But yeah, absolutely. There can be stay-at-home dads. In our particular situation, my husband had the better job, in our opinion, and the higher paying job. And we thought it'd be fiscally more responsible if he was the one. And I did want to stay home with the baby, and he understood that. So that was our decision that we made.
Great. So there's one issue around the US and the world regarding vaccinations. A lot of controversy.
Mm-hmm.
People tend to think that kids taking 5 vaccinations is responsible for some of the autism and stuff. Do you have any
Mm-hmm.
opinions or input on that?
Yeah, it's just it's always a hard topic to talk about with people, because they believe in one side or the other, right? Obviously, they either are going to give their child a vaccine or they're not. And so when you've made that decision for your child, whether it be you gave them or you didn't, and it gets to be a heated conversation because people have obviously made that decision already, and now someone's trying to tell them that what they did is endangering their child, and automatically people get very defensive. So it's definitely a hot topic these days, because you can't have this conversation without hurting someone's feelings or making them feel like a bad mother or a bad father. My personal opinion is that I am going to put my trust in my faith, which, some people might tell me I'm wrong, but I did not go to medical school, and my doctors did. They studied vaccines, and I did not. And I asked my doctors, and my pediatrician, if they vaccinated their child, and they say they do. And so to me, that is what I go off of, and I chose to vaccinate my child. Whether we find out 10 years from now that there's solid proof that it's the wrong thing to do, then we'll have to deal with it then. But as of right now, I feel like there's more scientific basis behind vaccination than not. Like I said, I could be so wrong, but that's part of parenthood, is you have to make decisions for your children like this. And we don't know if we're doing the best thing in the world for them or not. And you just have to make these decisions, and sometimes they're hard, and you just have to do what you feel like in your gut is the right thing to do. And so that's what my opinion on it.
Okay, good. That's fair enough.
Yeah,
next
right. Fair
question
enough.
is regarding next question is regarding feeding. Are you in favor of formula or natural feeding of the kids? The baby. Which one is better? What is your opinion?
Yeah. So, like I said before, is like there are some instances where mothers can't breastfeed. There are instances where, and I didn't know this. I didn't learn this until it was my turn and I had friends who are mothers, whether or not they don't produce milk for some reason. Some babies are born early and in the NICU, and they have to be bottle fed right away, and the mother's milk doesn't have a chance to come in. And there are some times where it works out for people where they're able to, because of inventions like a pump and a breast pump, they're able to begin their milk supply and feed their babies milk, whether it be through a bottle or not. I don't think that it is as easy as saying one is right and one is wrong. There are several benefits to breastfeeding, and it is a lot easier, and less expensive than formula. But there are, at the end of the day, I think the best thing is that if that baby gets fed, and no matter how that baby gets fed, the most important thing is that baby is not starving to death, and whether that comes through breast milk or formula, that's the most important thing.
Okay. So what does it feel like to be a mother regarding on around the world?
As in, like, what is it like being a mother in today's age?
In today's age, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an optimist, so I try not to look at the world like, oh, I can't believe I'm raising a baby in an age where we have so many problems. I think that there's always been problems, whether it was in the 1800s or right now. And it is a scary world, and I think it always has been. But I feel pretty confident about being a mother in today's age, and I just hope that, I can raise my children and do the best I can to raise them as good people and law-abiding citizens and just good people. And I have a very strong faith, so I think that helps me with my optimism of the world, and not to be so pessimistic about having our children grow up in a world where there are, school shootings and people who, you have to teach them about saying no to strangers and getting in their cars and everything like that. But like I said, I just have a strong faith, and I hope that my husband and I can raise our children to be really good people and good citizens of their country. So
that's good. Good. You mentioned you only have Nora so far, so that means you're planning on having more?
Oh, yes, absolutely. She didn't scare us away from having a kid. Yeah, I think that we, if we can, we're fortunate enough to not have any, issues getting pregnant the first time. I pray that happens again for us in the next upcoming pregnancies. And I don't know how many kids we want, but we definitely want another one.
That's good. That's good. You're contributing to the society, which is good.
Yes.
Yes. This is so interesting subject. There's no ending to it, but we have 2 more minutes to go. So okay. I would like to resume to make a conclusion of motherhood according to your point of view. Somebody else will learn from it. Somebody around the world who is listening to us say, hey, that Abby's advice and experience helped me raise my daughter or my son.
Okay. Well, it's just such a it's a hard thing to do, right? Give advice on motherhood, in my opinion, because everyone, if you ask everyone, they will all have an opinion about it. So I think my best advice, and it'll all be, you know, oh, you should do this and you should do that, and then the next person will say you should do this and do that, and it'll be the opposite of what that other person told you. So
Right.
my best advice is to listen to it all and pull from it which makes sense to you, and then follow your gut, because there is no right and there's no wrong way or right way to do it. There's no book, here is how you be a mother, and that's it. If you follow these rules, you will be good. There's no guide to it. So I just say, everyone who gives you advice, yes, listen to them and pull from it what you agree and what you don't agree, and pull from people's experiences who've gone through things that you haven't, and to follow your gut. And the last piece of advice is definitely buy the sleep books. Read all of the sleep books, because I tell you what, I did it, and I put Nora on a good sleep schedule, and nothing feels better than 12 hours of sleep from your baby. So buy the sleep books.
Right. So that will conclude our interview. I want to thank you so much, Abby. Sekou Radio, if you were listening to us, I was Abby Hinkler with Lesson on Motherhood, Stay Home Mom. Thank you, and all the best to Nora. I can't wait to meet her and see her soon. Thank you again.
Yes, out on the tennis courts. You're welcome.